11 years ago today, a gunman opened fire at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Connecticut. He killed 20 children and 6 adults, and then himself. People called for gun safety laws that day and in many days since.
According to the Gun Violence Archive, there have been more than 600 mass shootings just this year. The organization defines a mass shooting as an incident where at least 4 people were shot and either injured or killed, not including the shooter. The deadliest this year was in Lewiston, when Maine lost 18 neighbors, friends, and loved ones. Good evening, and thanks for joining us here on News Center Maine at 5:30. I'm Zach Blanchard.
And I'm Chris Costa. The Lewiston tragedy brought the topic of gun violence prevention back into the national spotlight again. Now some of Maine's legislators are back from a trip to the White House for a gun violence prevention summit. Sam Rogers joins us now with more. Sam?
Yeah, Chris and Zach, a group of 8 lawmakers from our state met with their counterparts from around the country. Democratic Representative Vicky Dodera was part of that trip and says Mainers across the state are constantly speaking to their legislators about gun violence. During the upcoming legislative session, Dodera is hopeful lawmakers can make what she calls meaningful and lasting change.
We really need to do something because now we know that Maine's not immune from that kind of violence.
One message Democratic State Representative Vicky Dodera took from the trip to the White House, aligning our gun laws with the times.
And that means, ghost guns, kit guns, looking at large capacity magazines and looking at assault weapons. We've got to keep up with the evolving technology.
The White House created the Office of Gun Violence Prevention this fall, touting its Safer States agenda before state legislatures meet next month.
I just know deep in my heart that we have the opportunity in Maine to lead and to show the nation that we can make meaningful progress when it comes to gun safety.
Before Maine lawmakers return to Augusta, Representative Dodera expects gun safety will be a priority this session, with a focus on more than preventing future mass shootings.
We have in Maine a very high rate of suicide by firearm, and we also have domestic and intimate partner violence, which often involves guns.
Representative Dodera also acknowledges Maine's proud history of hunting and firearm ownership.
We can have all that, and we can also say it's time to really take a look at our gun laws, make them stronger so that we're not putting our citizens at risk.
Maine's U.S. senators are pushing gun control at the federal level. Independent Angus King recently introduced a bill that would limit ammunition capacity for some guns, among other safeguards. And Republican Susan Collins is working on legislation to require branches of our military to report under red flag or yellow flag laws
when they believe a member of their service poses a threat to him or herself or to others.
It's a nationwide problem, but it's a problem now that's come to Maine.
Now, the independent commission investigating the Lewiston mass shooting was supposed to hold a public hearing today, but is waiting for key information before its next briefing. According to a statement, House Republicans look forward to reviewing the findings and want to know why existing laws that may have prevented the tragedy were not applied. Zach and Chris, a reminder that the upcoming legislative session begins on January 3rd.
Sam Rogers live in the studio tonight. Thanks so much.